Hey, what's up guys, it's Darius, and Nexus is no longer. Instead there's Pixel. This is living with the Pixel XL. Now when I first saw the Pixel, I wasn't very impressed. It looked fairly ugly, and with such a high price tag, it didn't really appeal to me. Still, I was very excited to test out what Google has to offer, and after having spent some time with it, I have to say it isn't an easy device to review. It does so much right, especially for a first-gen device, but there are also a couple of downsides, which is unfortunate because Google could have easily avoided them. Starting with the bad, the worst thing about the Pixel is the design. Google clearly did not spend much time designing the Pixel. It seems iPhone inspired, with a weird glass top half on the back, which by the way attracts a lot of fingerprints. It lacks a high IP rating, and while it's made from metal and glass exclusively, it doesn't feel very premium. It still feels nice, but not up to par for what you're paying. The downward-facing speaker is mediocre and easily covered. It also distorts a bit at max volume, and there's not even expandable storage. The design isn't really horrible nor ugly, and it would have been fine in, let's say, 2015, but not nowadays, especially if you're paying so much money for it. The upside is that the durability is fairly good. Nonetheless, it does scratch fairly easily. I've had some bad drops with it, and there's only a couple of small scuffs on the corners, so that's pretty good. The buttons are decent, and the fingerprint scanner on the back is very good. It's fast and pretty accurate. The in-hand feel is decent, not super slippery, but also not very comfortable. Due to the unnecessarily big bezels, one-handed usability isn't great either. The other issue I had is the inconsistency between apps. For example, there's the new Google Assistant, which sort of replaces Now on Tap. There's the Google search bar, and there's Allo, but they all do different things and have different features, and don't really seamlessly integrate.
One more time.
The same goes for messaging. It's all very confusing. And that I have to download an app for it to show the battery percentage is just ridiculous. Apart from that, I can't really complain because the Pixel does a lot right. The display is great, second only to the S7's. The colors are nice, not too saturated, and the viewing angles are good too. It's not the brightest display, but it's still pretty usable outdoors. Inside it's rocking the latest specs, Snapdragon 821, 4GB of RAM, etc, etc. Hence it's really fast. Animations are very fluid, apps open instantly, and it's overall just the fastest Android phone out there, even comparable to the iPhone 7. But what makes the Pixel so fast aren't the specs, it is the optimization. Devices can only be made fast or faster up to a certain point by cramming in better specs. But eventually, you have to do something different. You can't just include better specs. You have to make the hardware and the software work together. That's what the iPhone's been doing right for so long, and now the Pixel does too. Which is why I'd call this Android's iPhone. This is only possible since Google worked on both the hardware and the software and wouldn't have been possible with the Nexus. Now I can stand here and tell you how great it is, that it's a manufacturer's dream and a consumer's dream, but the Pixel really is a device that you have to experience for yourself. Before I tried it, I did not like it, but after having used it for a while now, I have to say, it is really almost my favorite phone out there. It also doesn't get warm, at least only very seldom. In terms of software, it obviously runs stock Android Nougat. In the last months, it has gotten a couple of updates, including 7.1.1. The update also added double tap and raise to wake. By the way, the update process is great. It basically just restarts. It doesn't have to get apps ready or anything like that, which usually takes forever. Anyways, the software is simplistic, with a couple of nice features, the main one being Google Assistant. It works well, but it's not revolutionary by any means. I use it fairly often, but I wish I could type instead of having to talk to it all the time. Then there's a nightlight, some handy gestures and moves. My favorite one is swiping down in a fingerprint scanner to pull down the notification tray, a feature that they borrowed from Huawei. It also comes with this 3D touch-like feature. I don't use it much, but I guess it can be useful. Other features included 24/7 support. It comes with unlimited, full-resolution backups in Google Photos, and it also supports Daydream. The rest really is just pure minimalistic vanilla Android. You either like it or you don't. I almost forgot, the split screen mode is great, and many apps support it. Moving on to the camera, Google advertises the Pixel to have the highest DxO Mark score ever, and naturally I was a little skeptical of that because the Nexus devices did not have a good camera. But man, I was wrong. The camera on this is definitely in the top 3 of the smartphone cameras out there, including the S7 and the iPhone 7. It is rocking a 12 megapixel shooter on the back with laser autofocus, and bonus, there's no camera hump, which is nice and rare these days. The camera launches with a double press on the power button, which is very quick. The software is mostly unchanged from the Nexus devices. It is very minimalistic with no manual mode in sight. Personally, I'd prefer a more feature-equipped camera app because with a third-party one you can get manual controls and it even supports raw images, which is weird that Google didn't integrate that to begin with. Anyways, the pictures it produces are just amazing. Images are very sharp and detailed, not over-sharpened, which is why I'd say it's slightly better than the S7. Colors are great, dynamic range is very impressive due to auto HDR, which is very aggressive but also very good. It's fast and focus is good and accurate. Everything is just good about the camera, nothing to complain about. The only thing that's worth mentioning is this glare or halo effect that people have been reporting, but I didn't have any issues. Low light is also good. It is still a smartphone camera, so it doesn't do any wonders, but for a smartphone, it is really good. In the last couple of months, I've taken some great pictures with it. I'll have full resolution samples down below if you're interested. The 4K video it shoots is good too. The image quality isn't top of the line, but stabilization is just amazing despite it lacking OIS. The front-facing camera is very detailed as well. However, I'd prefer a wider angle, like on the S7 for example. If you're interested, I recently made a comprehensive camera comparison of the Pixel, the S7 and a budget DSLR. Link is also down below. In terms of battery, due to its slight wedge shape, Google managed to cram in a 3450 mAh battery, which lasts you through a whole day and then some, without any issues. With moderate usage, it can even last 1.5 to 2 days. For most of the time I got about 1.5 days with not too much usage, but when I paired it to my Gear S3, then I got about 1 day of use. This again is thanks to optimization. It charges via quick charging, but sadly lacks wireless charging. All said, the Pixel is an amazing phone. I'd rank it in the top 3 smartphones out there, the S7, the iPhone 7 and the Pixel. I could really recommend both the smaller version and the XL version to anybody. It is very expensive and I'd say the great performance and the optimization makes up for the bad build. If you prefer a better design, then I'd say go with the S7, which I really like as well. And if you're still undecided, I'll have my comparison of the S7 Edge and the Pixel XL down below as well. And if you want to purchase the Pixel, the link is of course also down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to smash the like button, comment down below if you have any feedback, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. See you in the next one. Bye.